It was definitely something new to me. I've raced a lot, usually around the Cairns, but getting on board of a boat like this, doing a long ocean race, it's quite a bit of difference. You're using ley lines that we normally, go off a mile or two. This time you're going 25, 30 miles. It's quite a difference.
And how did you feel setting up? Were you, I don't know, apprehensive, excited? How did you feel?
Oh, I was excited. After being in Australia for about a week and a half, I was looking forward to getting on the boat and going racing.
And how did the conditions live up to what you anticipated?
Actually, we had a lot more wind in the second half of the race. I guess the second half of the race is basically a lot of times you're motoring. They cut the race short. But this particular year, we raced right into Singapore. We had great conditions. A few nights we had some real heavy winds. One night we experienced winds of 50 knots, real squall. That was quite exciting at the time. We had to make sail changes, get sails down, get people on deck, and it all had to be done very quickly because of the conditions.
And how did it feel lifting that yellow pennant?
Oh, that's great. We always have an expression when we're racing, nobody ever remembers who finished second. It's people remember who finished first, and that was great. Halfway through the race, we fell back. We were first, basically the first half of the race. In the mid-section, we fell back, I think, to fourth or fifth. And then for the second half, to be able to climb back to first place, that was really exciting. Especially the last few 60 miles, I believe, we went way off to the west, and we had to cut back into the middle of the course to take our waypoint that we had around. And it was at night, and behind us we could see a light. Not knowing who it was, we were hoping it was Australia. We couldn't see anything in front of us. So when it broke daylight that morning, we realized it was Australia and that we were in first place. And the last 60, 70 miles was a drag race to the finish line. That was quite exciting. And even what made it more exciting, the last 30 miles we had a rip in our main. And we were quite nervous about that because we would have lost our mainsail. If that rip would have torn the main any worse, it would have been, we would have lost first place. So that was, everybody was on pins and needles for the last 30 miles, hoping that mainsail would hold. So it was quite exciting. And it was more exciting, I think, the fact that you could see the boat, because most of these ocean races, people are winning by 30, 40 miles, which is not a big margin. But to win by 2 miles and be able to see the boat, that made it real exciting.
Now we've got the eagle on the boat behind us, but you've become a bit of a surrogate mascot yourself on this leg. You've brought your uniform along.
Yes.
People back home, your colleagues, following your progress?
Yes, they are. They're at the office. They have the computer on every day. They check it out to see just exactly how we're doing and what position we're in. And so, yeah, they're following the race.
Right, and that's quite a thick, hot uniform. You're donning it here in Singapore. It's going to be quite a hot one.
Yes, I think so. The day I had it on in Geraldton, Australia was a very warm day, and I survived that, so I would imagine hopefully I'll survive 1 or 2 wearings here in Singapore in that type of heat.
Yeah. But there's something iconic about that uniform, isn't there, that says Canada to people around the world?
Yes, it was somewhat exciting down there. There were people from Canada, and as soon as they seen the uniform, they were over to talk to you and tell you where they were from. And even people from Australia and England and other countries, they all recognized the uniform as being a symbol of Canada, and people wanted their picture taken, and so it was quite exciting.
And from here up to colder climes in Qingdao, what are your thoughts looking ahead to that?
The colder weather, believe it or not, I'm going to like it. I don't know if I'm going to like it. We checked the forecast yesterday, it was a -9 in Qingdao. I don't know if I'm going to like it that cold, but a little cooler would be nice. But I'm hoping between now and then that some of this warm air moves up and some of the cold air moves further north, and we got somewhat nicer temperatures, but not -9.